Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in a country at war, to hear sirens and explosions at night and not know if you'll wake up tomorrow or if your family will still be alive? How does it affect a person when all certainty and stability is taken away from them? What is it like to have witnessed horrors that most of us could not even begin to imagine and not know what else is to come? To find out, I traveled to Kiev to speak with people who experience this reality. I wanted to find out how the war in Ukraine affects people's mental health. It's about trauma, about stress, about anxiety, topics that are rarely discussed in the mainstream media or in debates. However, I believe they are no less important than stories about destroyed infrastructure. Now, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm an artist, writer and activist with a background in social science. But I deeply care about mental health awareness, and I particularly want to highlight the impact of this war on the mental health of people in Ukraine. This project aims to draw attention to an aspect of the war that is often overlooked. It's about letting people speak for themselves. The goal of this project is to reveal the full picture of what war really does to people. Living through a war, especially one that specifically targets civilians, means that you will go through deeply traumatic experiences. You may be injured, witness people dying, or lose your home. Every individual story is important, so I have personally asked people to share theirs.
Experiences like translating 2 hours interview with the woman who was in the Russian captivity. That I can definitely say was, something that is traumatizing you, and every single story like that, or listening to the testimonies of someone who lost, I feel, because I'm apparently a very sensitive person, I take all this emotional load on me, and then I'm translating it, so it's like double experiences, or experiencing all these emotions.
You can't simply forget all this experience. Like, I've been in Bucha on day one, after it was liberated. I've seen mothers crying for their sons. Today in the morning, I've been on a short ceremony where a mother received an honor for her fallen son.
Same time when I went there, and it was a big attack on the city, nighttime. And of course, my husband is used to that. And in Kramatorsk, he cannot go anywhere, basically, because all these buildings, they're not adapted to war, so there are not much shelters, and it just happens very quickly. And I heard something like bombs I never hear in Kiev. And that night it was a very new experience to me. That was probably one of the first times I was really scared, because I understood that it will happen or not.
I'm really, one of my main dream, as I hope you remember, I was born in Donetsk.
Yes.
So
yes.
I lost my roots totally. I don't have nothing. Yeah. I don't have my homeland. I don't have my home, my house. I can't visit the grave of my families, and so one of my main dream, I want to be involved in renovation of my homeland. I'm really want to do it because every few weeks, even like yesterday,
Yes.
I saw my hometown in my dream, and it's usually happened with me from 2014. I'm really oftenly see in my dream very, very realistic my hometown.
There are around 10 contacts in my contact list which I will never message. Not because we are enemies, but because those people are not longer with us. Most of them died fighting and protecting the country. Some of them died because of Russian attacks on civil infrastructure. But we should not forget them, and we should keep fighting, because so many people, they already gave their life, sacrificed themselves for our future.
А мій чоловік, він після інсульту. І розумієте, всі там за перебриком. Він це не міг переносити спокійно зовсім. Він замкнувся в собі. І ось ми спускалися на перший поверх будинку, щоб при обстрілах. Бо біля нас недалеко Антонівський міст, це єдине місце в районі Херсона, де рашисти могли перейти. І там йшли сильні бої. І це все було чутно до нас. І мій чоловік не спускався вниз. Він сильна людина, але стояв з повними очами сліз. І ось він цього не витерпів. А це било й мене. Так, він мер просто від серцевого нападу, але я розуміла, що вони його вбили, розумієте.
It should come as no surprise that all these things have a profound impact on people's mental health. Studies suggest that more than half of the people in Ukraine suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Other common mental health issues include anxiety, depression, and even memory problems. I therefore wanted to hear from the people about the specific way that the war has affected their mental health.
All of this brings a huge state of exhaustion.
Yes.
So we are all exhausted here, tired, and I think we all have such problems as anxiety, depression, but you just have to find a way how to deal with it. Otherwise, I don't know what to say.
I would say that honestly, most of the time I have a feeling that I don't feel really safe. But it's not about the physical threat or something like that. It's like an inner feeling. I always want to go home, and I found out that home is not a place for me. Like, even when I'm at my house, I want to go home because I don't know how to explain that. That just feels uncertain.
Your life becoming a disaster if you have it, because from time to time it could happen like out of nowhere, and you're just diving into your consciousness, and you don't really understand what's happening around you. Plus your adrenaline comes out, plus you think that you're dying, which you're not, but you're going through that. Within the war, obviously, it amplified, or let's say boosted way more. I have anxiety attacks. I have a lot of friends and friends of friends that are having way more problems on their end in terms of mental health that they're dealing with.
І так, контакти з сім'єю були супер важкі. я агресував, я сварився з мамою, сварився з нареченою. У мене були регулярні панічні атаки. У мене та прокидався серед ночі, якісь флешбеки, проблеми зі сном. І вся ця історія, вона дуже сильно впливає на твої стосунки з твоєю сім'єю. І справді не всі люди готові це терпіти. І я знаю багато кейсів, де розбивали сім'ї через оцей стан, а кожного він якийсь особистий, індивідуальний, це переживання, проживання цих моментів, але є речі ось схожі. І мій кейс, зараз в мене все добре, в мене хороші стосунки в сім'ї, але в той момент моє повернення з фронту змінило навіть, виходить, стосунки з моєю нареченою, і ми зараз не разом, ми не створили з нею сім'ю. Це, звісно, що це причина двохстороння, але моє повернення з фронту прямо пропорційно повпливало на це.
There is like a feeling, a popular one among civil people, feeling guilty for being alive. It's the name. But what it actually means is that you feel guilty for being more privileged. That's what I shared mostly for the last questions, because I'm really kind of lucky during these 4 years. And a few years ago, I guess, that was a common thing to me, like every day, thought that I was feeling guilty that I'm good, that I have my work, and I'm fine, I have money, I have home, I can set up my life and in a normal position. And it's also the thing that left me my reflections after I started working with military people, because they were the one to support me actually most in living my normal life and not feeling guilty about it, because that is what they fight for.
I feel that a lot of times this dissociation happens, or derealization, you continue to function, but you actually are already not so well connected to it, in order not to feel all this horror. I think a lot of people in Ukraine have this as well, that we just don't react on this anymore. And that's horrible, and that's, I feel, something that, because it's so chronic, this stress and this dissociation, at least for myself, I can say I feel that this changed me forever. I feel like I wouldn't be able to go to this state that I was before war.
I think the worst will happen when the war will end, because some of our emotions, they are so much deep inside, we just don't let them, just to be shown. They are there.
You repress emotions, you mean?
I think some of my emotions about all that's happening right now, about all the loss, all the grief, they will stay inside till the end, because now it's we still have to stay strong.
But I don't probably realize them all. I think we all have some kind of PTSD because of the war, and this probably the things that we will feel later, and it would have a long-term effects after this finished. What I see is when soldiers return from captivity, some mental issues can be found later.
Yes, there is some popular book, I guess, about the body. It's in Ukrainian Тіло Водолік. I don't know how to translate, but the book is about the body itself, and that how we react to stress, to anything that traumatizes us, and it can actually show up in 10, 20 years, or even like when we get really elder people. So I think that I'm not a good example of a person who keeps the balance and mental health. So I do have a therapist, a psychologist, like weekly basis, and still I'm pretty sure that in 5-10 years my health will remind me of this stress.
Do you mean your physical health also?
Yes.
Again, we decided that it's better to do something, and that's what helps a lot. Action, when you are able to support, to help, to provide people with work, to help yourself, to help your mental state. At the beginning of war, I heard one rule I'm trying to follow, that every day you have to do something for yourself, something for your country, and something for your work, and that's what I'm trying to do.
In general, my favorite way of dealing with any anxiety and stress is just going outside and starting running or walking somewhere without a purpose, without a specific point I want to get into. And lots of people say that it's boring, but when you're anxious, it's not boring, it's a need to run somewhere. And I have a feeling that nothing can catch me, and I like this feeling.
I think this is the main which all of us must be worried about. We must thinking about how can we doesn't lose that humanity, because when you live always in that shock, in that pain, with everything, you can focus it on yourself. But I think it's only my vision, yes, and I think you must leave that line for yourself, for help someone who is much more bad than you in some situation. That's for me how to be a human, how to stay a human. You need to be carry on and helpful for someone around you.
Somehow we used to that, and honestly I'm amazed how people can adapt to basically anything, even to the worst things, and somehow we still manage to live our lives, to fall in love, to work, to have fun, to smile, and to just to do stuff.
One thing I've often heard Ukrainians say is how deeply the war has changed them. What strikes me in particular is how often I've heard people say that they miss who they once were and that they will probably never be this person again. So I have asked people how exactly they have changed.
And seeing, just people who lost everything during this work that I do, being in these places that have been destroyed. It's also horrible that even to this you actually become used to all these, even the death of the close one, it's like, oh, but you knew he was, for example, at war, so your brain already knew this could happen, and when it happens, it's like, yes, but it's war, it's I think the most horrifying is to be aware of how your reactions are modified by these circumstances, and you don't feel the way you felt before. You are a different person.
I think it's completely true, because we all have changed. a lot mentally.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as for me, I think I became calmer and just I just wanted to have a better understanding of another people's grief, to understand better people, to be more kind with people, because I understand that it's not only I who didn't sleep all night.
The daily question of what I really can do today, not to sound dramatic, but still tomorrow cannot happen, possibly, maybe. So today became more valuable to me than it was 4 years ago. Unfortunately, I think that it's a basic thing to understand. It's a basic thing to call your relatives and parents while you can.
And I feel that with war, I'm still struggling to be, impressed by something in this, what art is does to people. For example, when I'm in the gallery, it's usually I see it's just objects on the wall. They will disappear, then the others will appear, and they will someday be in the trash. It's I feel I've lost this aliveness.
First part is yes, I guess everyone is completely changed, and if somebody says that he or she is not, it's probably is a lie, because it's impossible not to change some core values and core mentality.
In my circles, a lot of people, it's really changed, and actually I'm changing my way totally. I doesn't have any more interest in any commercial way. See me now and in the future only in the be helpful for my country, my people who live there, children who live there. But I think I'm not a good example, because I'm really make a lot of not ordinary decisions in that war, and it's cool if I can motivate someone to do like me, but I understand it's not for everyone.
I think Ukrainian society and we changed some way in a better way, so we all began to act more understanding to each other, more united. But yes, we all have some mental issues.
During wartime, the future seems completely uncertain. Nevertheless, I wanted to find out how people feel about theirs. Do they only see dark scenarios, or do they imagine a bright future for themselves and for their country?
I'm an optimistic person. I think that it's a good strategy to find positive moments, situations. But here I can say that even if this war will stop for some time due to, I don't know, negotiations or whatever, I feel that the next generation will experience it again, and my generation, I think, till the end of life, because I don't know how it would be, how we can do the sort that Russia just stops being this power that wants to occupy us.
I don't want to live in that illusion that it will happen soon, because if it will not happen the time I planned in my head, somehow I will be so much disappointed and broken. So it's better to just live through it. And when it happens, it will happen. For now, I don't know.
It's really hard question because no one knows when this will end, but I try to stay positive. I want to believe that the war will end soon. In the best scenario for Ukraine and for our people, because as I mentioned, I'm writing about UN's principles bodies reform, and I'm writing a lot through international law perspective and through perspective of human beings and what is common sense, that war is prohibited, aggression is prohibited, and there is no place for impunity. So I believe in this world security structure, architecture.
Of course, I'm sure this war will be end in future. I hope it's happening not so far future, because we really, Ukrainians are really growing on this war. Because before of full scaling, people around the world just know about Ukraine. This is Shevchenko, Klitschko, and something like that. Maybe some football team. And now we are the nation for whom people from all around the world asking to help, because we have that incredible Боже, як досвід.
Experience.
Yes, because now we have that incredible experience in the real war.
Finally, I wanted to find out how people in Ukraine feel about the response to this war from people in other countries. While there has been a lot of solidarity and compassion, some people think that support has been excessive, with some even blaming Ukraine. I'm also aware that people with good intentions may not always react in the best way. So I wanted to find out how we who are not experiencing this war directly affect the well-being of the people who are.
I don't want to say anything bad, but sometimes the comments I read, they're insane, and to me, to blame Ukraine is just crazy. I understand propaganda exists, and sometimes people trying to find the easiest answers and easiest solutions, and I think that's why they sometimes want Ukraine to give up, because it will make things easier to many countries. And some of the people, they just don't understand why we don't do that. So it's sometimes difficult to explain that we don't want to be a part of Russia, and we will never accept that. We want to build our own country and our own future with our own rules, and this is what the best of us die for, literally. So, like, bad comments, they affect me a lot.
Time went on, and I figured that the less I get myself into that, and the better for my state of being emotionally and physically. But it needs to be battled, and it needs to be counterattacked on our side. And by meaning counterattacked, I'm not saying that we need to make our own propaganda, we just need to tell the truth.
At the beginning, it was like absolutely majority of the world population was standed with Ukraine, and it felt like it felt like, and it was very specific feeling here for us in our hearts that we are not alone. that people care about us.
I do appreciate. I met so many people who follow the news. They know what is happening. They support financially and in many different ways. So I do appreciate that. This is important, and let's focus on making this community bigger.
Now, I have spent 5 days here in Kiev and I've interviewed several people, and I don't know what to summarize. It's like emotionally was very intense, and it's definitely everything like feels more real when you speak with the people and experience that the sirens in the evening. And also when I have been to at the Maidan, where there are the pictures of the fallen soldiers, and I don't know, I was just thinking how a lot of them were like, I don't know, the age of my little brother. So it was also emotionally affecting me. And I've heard a lot of really terrible stories from the experience of the people. And it was strange thing is that when I came here, at first I was surprised at just how, I don't know, how normal everything seemed. Like in the first moment, people were just in the street, drinking coffee, doing normal everyday stuff, and only when I spoke to the people, had long conversations in interviews, then it became very clear that nothing is normal. And again, I've heard really terrible stories and things that are really need some time to process, and I don't know what else I should say about other than I just hope that this war will end soon and that people here can somehow start to recover from all of this. And also that I very much appreciate, of course, that my interview partners, that they took the time and they were very open and very honest, and I met really great people here, and so I'm very thankful to everyone who agreed to the interviews. And yeah, I don't know what else to say other than I really hope for a better future for everyone here. Yeah.